And in breaking news abroad, Al Jazeera News is reporting that Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi and the country's foreign minister have been killed in a helicopter crash. Rescuers found the crash site in Iran's East Azerbaijan province after an hours-long search in difficult weather. Iranian state media says search teams located the wreckage of the helicopter more than 12 hours after it went down in a remote mountainous region. The Iranian Red Crescent Society reported that there is no sign of life at the crash site. President Raisi had reportedly been traveling in a convoy of 3 helicopters when one of them got into difficulty. State television said the president's aircraft had to make what it called a hard landing. Well, for more on this story, we now speak to SABC News International Editor Sophie Mkwena. A very good morning to you, Sophie. Thank you so much for joining us. Would you confirm for us that the news that the Iranian president has indeed passed away in a helicopter crash?
Yes, he has died. As you pointed out, he actually visited a border between Iran and Azerbaijan yesterday, where he was going to check the dam that's been built and that is going to assist both the countries. After meeting the president of Azerbaijan and visiting the site, then he was supposed to fly back, and he did that. He was accompanied by his helicopter, accompanied by other helicopters. Unfortunately, on the ground, they lost contact with his helicopter at around 1 p.m. And at that time, that's when the helicopter went down. They started the search later in the afternoon until early hours of this morning, and they were only able to locate the helicopter this morning, even though they arrived in the area last night. But because it was dark and because of the weather, they couldn't locate the helicopter. And other countries were on standby to assist. Turkey, Russia, as you know, that both countries have good relationship with Iran. And now the confirmation that President Ebrahim Raisi of Iran has died, and he was with his foreign affairs minister and other officials in that accident. I think the big question is going to be, why did they allow the foreign affairs minister to travel with the president in the same plane? You know that heads of state, when they travel, you don't put people who are very strategic in government in the same plane or in the same helicopter with the president. Like, they can't travel with the vice president or the deputy president, because should there be anything that is not anticipated, you don't have this kind of a situation where 2 strategic leaders in the country have perished. And I think these are the questions that they will ask. But also, you know, the tension in the Middle East is bound to escalate as speculations are going to make the rounds, because you know that some few weeks ago we saw that attack by Iran directed at Israel, and that tension escalated. Now many questions are being asked in terms of what could have been the reason. But you know that Iran has been under sanctions, and therefore most of its capabilities, some of them, those that they bought long time ago from other foreign countries, very difficult to repair because they can't buy the parts.
Now, Sophie, what do we know at this point about the other delegations traveling in the other helicopters in the same convoy as the late president? I mean, considering that all 3 aircraft were traveling under very, very difficult circumstances.
The other 2 helicopters, they did land safely. Only the president's helicopter got lost in the midst of communication with those who are communicating, the aviation military experts, at around 1 o'clock yesterday, the local time. And therefore the others were able to land at the town where they were supposed to land before flying to Tehran. And therefore not much has been said about the 2. I think because the focus was on this missing helicopter, and because it carried 2 very senior, strategic, high-profile people like the president, and the Foreign Affairs Minister. And you would recall that the last time the president of Iran visited South Africa, it was last year during the BRICS summit, where an announcement was also made that now Iran is a full member of BRICS. He was expected to embark on a state visit in South Africa in February or March. That visit, he cancelled that visit because of the tension in the Middle East. When I spoke to the embassy last month, they had told me that he will be coming before end of the year. And then, unfortunately, this is the situation now. And I expect that President Ramaphosa will issue a statement, particularly because there was this pending state visit of Iranian president to South Africa. It was not long ago when the Minister of Foreign Affairs of South Africa was also meeting her Iranian counterpart in the Middle East.
All right, Sophie, thank you so much for your update. Sophie Mkwena there is SABC International News Editor, confirming the news that Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi has died in a helicopter crash. He was in the company of Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian and others in East Azerbaijan province on Sunday.